Morning, everybody. I just wanted to take a minute to come on and say hello and talk about something that isn't very often talked about. It's not discussed a lot at this time, in America anyway. Everything's changing for those that are in America. I can't really speak for Africa, India, Australia, Great Britain. I can't really speak for other places in the world because I'm not there. I only know what people are telling me, my friends that live in those places are telling me. And things are really changing a lot. My glasses off because they're kind of reflecting. But here in America, there's been stuff that's on the news, and I'm really not a fan of watching the news. I'm just not. Because it's so negative now all the time. It really is. So I tend to not watch a lot of it, but then when I see it and I see things that different leaders and people that are in the public eye are saying and encouraging to happen or encouraging people to do, sometimes those things that they're saying are not um, really following the Constitution of the United States of America. I don't know how united the states of America are right now because of the way everything is. I've done other videos where I talk about, people being angry whether you got the jab or didn't get the jab, mask and unmask, and all the stuff that's going on that's chaotic. Now, of course, I live in the Midwest. If you've been watching my videos for any amount of time, and I'm kind of in the epicenter of where lots of chaos happened last year regarding Mr. Floyd and the riots and everything. It was just mass chaos last year. And the city is still trying to recover from that. And I don't know if we will fully recover from that, but I know that we're making efforts, we're making steps forward. And I'm a part of a lot of planning committees and groups involved in that. So my time has been taken up exponentially. I spend a lot of my time dealing with things like that. Honestly, in the community, I'm not somebody just going down the street saying, "Ooh, look at this, look at that." I'm here. I'm in the midst of it and trying to make a change, positive change, which I would encourage anybody to do in their own respective communities. But right now, I wanted to share with you something that we really don't hear talked about anymore. I don't think I've really heard it talked about a lot since I was in grade school, you know, when I was learning about the Constitution of the United States of America. And I memorized it through a program that was on TV called Schoolhouse Rock. Um, but I just want to talk about a portion being the Bill of Rights, Article 3 of the Bill of Rights. Um, and this information can be found at www.archives.gov/founding dash docs, DOCS, /bill dash of dash rights, RIGHTS, dash transcript. So it's not something I'm making up. It's not me giving my opinion. It's just straight facts. Um, I'm sure probably after this video goes up, I'll be receiving some kind of warnings or having some kind of personal issues because the truth is that people don't really want people to read and know the truth anymore. I mean, and that is my personal opinion. Um, but I say prepare, prepare, and other people say, oh, that's stupid, that's crazy, that's fear mongering. Well, not really. If you've experienced what I experienced within the past year and other things that I've mentioned on my videos that I've experienced in my life, there is some rationale and some reasoning for preparing. So, Article 3 of the Bill of Rights. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. So, freedom of speech, freedom of religion. But right now we're living in a time where if someone says that they do not want to do something because of their religious faith, they're being challenged. Why is it so important? Why is your faith so special? And why this, why that, blah, 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 blah. Um, and I've seen it. I've seen it happen myself, and I've seen the documents that say that. People being threatened with losing their livelihood and their homes when this was supposed to be America, the land of the free and the home of the brave. But if you are brave right now, it looks like become like an enemy of the state or something. It just things are just very odd. Um, Makes me just question a lot of things. Particularly when public leaders say they're going to go door to door and force people to do things that they don't want to do. If we do have freedom of religion and freedom of choice, then people should have the right to make those choices. But right now, things seem very Orwellian, and I don't know if you've read the George Orwell books, such as 1984. It's a really good book. If you haven't read it, I would suggest that you read it. You can get it from your public library. You can download it through the library systems online. You can buy it on the cheap from thriftbooks.com. It's an excellent resource because even though it was written a long time ago, it's actually talking about things that are happening right now, such as Animal Farm. That's another George Orwell book. Another little thin paperback. I've got them both here in one of my bookcases. Um, where things start off one way and there are certain rules and policies put in place, and then, good becomes bad and bad becomes good, and this becomes wrong and this becomes right, and everything gets flip flopped just so that the larger group goes with the one that's kind of in charge. Well, I just wanted to share that today. Check out those books if you can. I'm going to finish eating my Israeli couscous, and I've got a cup of coffee. And I've got lots of other reading and things to do. And hopefully, I won't get too much backlash for this video, but I just wanted to put it out there and be honest and sincere. Search yourself, search your heart. Um, the world is changing, like seriously changing, and we need to be prepared. Um, in the Bible, there's a story about in the Old Testament. So hopefully more people can relate to this, whether they be Christian or Jews. Um, there's a story about Joseph and his coat of many colors. His dad really loved him. This is my abridged version of it. His dad really loved him and gave him this amazingly beautiful coat that was full of all sorts of colors. It was just amazing and beautiful. And his brothers became jealous and they plotted to do wrong to him. They plotted to do harm to him. And they set up their little plan and they got Joseph and took him way out yonder and threw him in the pit and took his coat, put some animal blood and stuff on it, and took it back to the dad saying that, sorry, he was attacked by something or other and he's no longer with us. Which the dad became very sad and mournful and grieved over the loss of his son for a very long time. Only one of the brothers was like, no, this isn't cool. We really shouldn't be doing that. All the rest of them were like, nope, we're getting him out of here. And so they pretty much pressured, in my opinion, that one that was like, no, this is not right, into going along with them. And Joseph was in the pit for quite a while. Then, after a while, he was ended up being taken, um, and he ended up being going through many situations where he ended up, being in prison. He was accused of stuff that he didn't do, and he continued to try to live a righteous and upright life. Um, and he went through a lot of stuff. But fast forwarding towards the end of the story, you know, Joseph's in jail because Potiphar's wife, Potiphar was the ruler in the place that he ended up at. She's said that he did some stuff that he didn't do, and he just booked out of there. Um, and because of her accusations, Potiphar commanded that Joseph be thrown into jail. He's in jail with these other two guys, um, and they're talking about the dreams that they had, and Joseph was able to interpret the dreams and tell them, the meaning of the dreams. That's just kind of the wisdom that God gave him. So one of the guys gets out of jail, and Joseph's like, hey, don't forget about me. That guy ends up going and telling Potiphar about Joseph and his ability to interpret dreams. And the Potiphar had a dream that he couldn't interpret, and none of his people that were in his in crowd, they all couldn't interpret that dream. And so he said, okay, let's get this guy, Joseph, and see what he's saying about it. Tells the dream to Joseph. Joseph interprets it. There's going to be 7 years of plenty where the harvest and everything will be plenteous. And then there will be 7 years of drought and famine. And so, with the interpretation of that coming out, stock up what you can for those first 7 years, because in the second 7 years, there's going to be a lot of hungry people and a lot of people suffering, and many that probably will pass away. So they stocked up food, and it was 7 years of plenty, and they stocked up all kinds of food, and they had amazing amounts of food. Then the second 7 years came, and the people were like, "Oh, we're cool. We in this town. We got all our stuff stocked up. We prepared, prepare. So we're all good." Well, Joseph's brothers and his father were in another town, suffering because they didn't have any food. They didn't know what was coming. So they didn't prepare, they didn't stock up, they were suffering. And so the father encouraged the sons to just going over to the other town because I heard they got it going on. They got lots of stuff stocked up. See if you're able to get anything. Maybe, you're able to get a little of something. You can bring it back here. And some of the brothers went, and Joseph was there, but he's full grown now because so many years have passed and he's looking different. And his brothers didn't recognize him, but he recognized them as soon as they came in the door. And what's funny is that he ended up being a leader after all that mess that he went through, the lies and stuff that were told on him. God had his back, and he ended up being one of a higher advisor. So he was someone that people really looked up to and respected. So they came into that town and they approached Joseph and asked for help with food. Joseph turned and left, turned away for a bit because he started to cry, realizing that these were his own kinfolk. They didn't recognize him, um, and he could have still been very angry in his heart for what they did because they plotted to destroy him. But yet God protected him and covered him through that whole process. Well, he ended up giving them food, um, and his father was overjoyed to see that the son that he thought was lost was still alive and well. So I say all that to say that times are getting tough. We're going through stuff. It's going to become really tough. I can feel it. I don't know about you. And a lot of people say that being unrealistic or conspiracy theorist, my coffee in my pressure made cup that I got from Liz. Channel is Tea Time with Liz. Um, so we will become pressure made. The proof will be in the pudding because we are about to really go through some stuff. Price of food is going up, price of gas is going up, all kinds of crime everywhere. Everywhere. Jobs are telling people either you take this jab and not just once, but every time we tell you to do it, you better do it. That's not really liberty. But that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. That's what they're saying. They're giving ultimatums because the love of money is the root of all evil. And what's happening that I see is that there are a lot of places being told if if you don't make everybody do this every time we say to do this, then you're not going to get any funding from the government, which means there's going to be a lot of times of distress and a lot of people suffering, which is very sad. It's very discouraging. So anyone working for like any government funded agencies, um, there's going to be issues. So again, I say, please, please be prepared. Please put back stuff. Be mindful of how you spend your money. Seriously. Um, get dehydrated foods if you can. Um, like coffee, get a little extra coffee because price of coffee is going to go up because they were only able to harvest 1/3 of the normal amount of beans. The price of postage stamps is about to go up, which I already found that out, and it just everything is going up. The cost of everything is going up, and there's this goal of having everything kind of flipped upside down by 2030. So Thank you for joining me today. I hope that you will not take what I'm saying lightly. Seriously. I really hope that people will heed the warning because when the trumpet comes, the trumpet is being blown to warn you of the trouble that's coming. And I'm not trying to be a fearmonger. And I gave you the information earlier in this video on how to access the different articles of the Bill of Rights. You can also look up, information on the Constitution there. This is on the government website, and I'd suggest that anybody that's really seriously interested in that get that information and print it out before they alter it. Because I can see that happening next. Like, oh no, it was never like that. Left is right, right is left, red is blue, blue is red. Things are changing quickly. Um, don't really know what else to say about that right now. Would like to come on later and do some hydroponic gardening and show you how I do that in my home. And this will be a system using the light and the water, um, but not having fish. This is a system without having the fish swimming in there. There's also that type of um, hydroponic gardening system, but I look forward to seeing you later. Take care.